I did a little bit of a mistake. Because the original recording of getting through the King's Tower was deleted by me, unfortunately. Well, they didn't have basically nothing really important. I didn't face boss fights or anything like that. I just, well, rambled on about what kind of location this is, and it had a big plot event of Ostrava of Boletaria finding out that the King Allant is actually a demonic doppelganger, and as such he couldn't go on living. And of course this place has a bloody huge dragon in here. So it is running the gauntlet again. Just find a moment and dash through. Don't even think about stopping. And it roasted one of the fat officials on the bridge here, there. And dragon is also smart enough that it actually flies away to perch above the gate to that King's Tower itself. And blue dragon can blast quite a big amount of damage. So I'm gonna just dash right through that and prepare to face the big king himself, King Allant. And I think I may have some sort of trick. There might be a trick involved in defeating him, which I might be trying to make use of, but that will be seen. It is. Yes, I got the thief rings and all that going up here. Herald's job is to deliver a message, and Jenna the Herald has been waiting for a long time to deliver a message to King Allant that that's it, your kingdom's history, you're supposed to be dead, period, that's it. Revolution is coming, viva la revolution, or whatever term expression you wanna do. But however, in this boss fight will take, it's gonna cut right into the finishing touches of this game, meaning defeating of the old monk and all that. And King Allant, one reason he very dangerous is because he's got a shit ton of magic resist. There he is. Slowly coming towards me. I wonder, does he get close enough for me to get really angry at me? No, he didn't. So let's just try to sneak towards him really slowly. Yeah, he's got some sort of ethereal wings and he carries the demon brand. Yeah, he can be poisoned. Can I also make a put him a plague on him? Plague doesn't seem to affect him, but poison does. So, apparently I found a gimmick to defeating him. Just gas him to death. This is actually quite amusing. So he's gonna be gassed to death. I'm not even gonna show how he fights. And here I am at the gates of Boletaria, first area of the game. And this place actually could be opened right then just by letting Ostrava get killed or kill him by himself. But here's the mausoleum. And some dude in here.
Lo, who seekest the king's sword. I am the old king. Show me thy strength and the power of thy souls.
Well,
prepare thyself, brave knight.
Yep, he's a boss or an enemy character, you could call it. But he can be poisoned. And he moves very carefully. And takes very little damage even at the end game stats. But luckily he can be both poisoned and hurt with plague. And he carries the soul brand. And more or less he can tank anything. He's most likely the most powerful thing in the game in sense of how much damage he can do and how much damage he can take. At least in sense how much damage he can take.
Well fought to have impressed one such as me, young knight. I am old King Doran, and thou hast proven thy strength to me. Step forth and take the king's sword in thy hand.
I will. But I'm gonna let the poison and plague destroy him. It's gonna take a while and take some recastings, but it'll work, as you can see. Because any finite number with 1 can be reduced to nothing. There he is, life bar slowly ticking away. Oh, I don't even need to do a recasting of my magic, of the damage magics. And take the Ring of Avarice to make more of his souls. So yeah, he gives the demon brand, soul brand quite easily. But rest of his kit he doesn't give easily. So you have to take it from his cold dead hands. And I'm quite certain that the statue was kind of flattering to him. So, but in this episode it's time to go and do some finishing works. So I'll be heading towards, well, maybe towards the Tower of Latria or Shrine of Storms to defeat archdemons in there. And I might throw some other interesting things. But still, see you somewhere else at this same episode. And here I am at the Ivory Tower of Upper Latria. So, and it was already, it's a, well, so, the final boss of Upper Latria, Old Monk. Actually, Old Monk just died, as much as we can be said. But it's the headdress which houses his demon, the archdemon inside. And it brought forth a spirit. I don't know which... I wonder what did that came from the Old Monk, actually, in that sense that, or is that just another Black Phantom invasion. But it might be that final boss is another player. Which, if that happens, I have to make a little... I may die facing him. Because I'm not that familiar with player-to-player fighting in this game. But if that happens, I can always go offline and face the old monk that way. At least I actually get to show the gimmick of this boss fight, making it that as it is a but the stairway to the old monk itself is nothing really interesting. Just all kinds of critters and stuff to face. But now I will face whoever is doing the job of old monk. Yep, that's a big hit. Well, I was beaten. But I shall be facing it, you could say, the non-invading old monk. But it takes a little bit of preparation, which I will do. Well, now I am in offline mode, so let's just see the default boss. Which is some sort of guy with an armor and spiky gloves. Not even a bit as intimidating as facing a real human foe is. Especially because the game's been out already a few years, meaning that the... Oh yeah, and old monk also gets those magic attacks around it, which, judging by his level of damage, mean that they will be more of them. Yep, like that. And he also has magic attack, which wasn't at the original one. He had the magic dollops appearing, but not of the and gloves and armor and all that. But no of the, you could say, magic attacks otherwise. Oh damn, got hit, but he was killed by poison and plague. Yeah, I also showed the, you could say, gimmick of this battle. Not just the battle itself, but its gimmick as well. That was unexpected, but kind of pleasant. And of course, I will now steal the soul of this archdemon. And it's time to go somewhere else. Actually, there's just a Shrine of Storms, where I will be going now. Now, I am at the Shrine of Storms, about to face something very interesting foe. Storm King. Yep, that's it. There it is. It's big, and I can't even reach it. So this stage also, like almost many boss fights of this game, has a gimmick, and which in this fight is the Storm Lords. I must destroy Storm Lords, so the Storm King, or I would prefer the name King of the Storm, will show up. And once I make the King of the Storm show up, then I can fight it. And this battlefield is much more impressive than it was in the first one, mostly because of they added the rain and storm to it. This place gave it much more, you could say, character. And Storm Lords shoot basically one arrow at you. Storm King, well, how much firepower he has is something you don't want to even have a educated guess about. If I were to say, it's a lot. Damn, I didn't have any spices. Well, time to make use of the arrows then. But luckily this little side of the house, or however you want to call it, is actually quite good place to yeah, quite many Storm Lords taken out already. Oh yeah. And the best location is when the Storm Lords come towards. That's when you want to attack them. And they also drop quite big amount of souls too, so this is in a sense quite good place to grind some experience points as well. And if I remember right, but that's a big yell. Which might indicate that the King of the Storm King is about to is about to join the fray. Yep, there it is. Look at that volley. That's a complete missile massacre. And look at the size of it. It covers the sky level of big. And I don't think Souls games have earlier had, or we'll say later, had boss which would have that kind of awe and dread inspiring size, even though about how it attacks is extremely simplistic. Where is it? And it doesn't take so much damage, seeing that how big, despite how it being that large that it covers the sky. It's quite impossible to emphasize how mind-bogglingly big Storm Lord King is. As in, bosses of similar stature appear in Shadow of the Colossus, and not all of them are of that size. better put out the soul gain ring. And originally this was, well, much faster fight to go through. But it still is quite quick, mostly because of the shit. Where's the king? It goes down. And with it, Storm Lords also go down. And after Storm King's defeat, there's only one boss left. King Allant himself, which I think I'm gonna face him in this video as well, leaving the end game boss and all that to have one specific extra video. Although there is still should be a little few incidents I could show, at least one show which I might be able to show. Depends on how well the world tendency has gone. Storm Ruler, a big sword, and you would assume by its position that it would be something important to take out the boss. No, it isn't. It's just a big sword. Yeah, this is a really... you could say that the scale of Storm King's fight is perhaps the biggest, because it's some sort of pagan god to which sacrifices were held in this location, and it says because of demonic power it has become physical and real. Which is nice, because video games can actually show this kind of story about narrative elements about locations by props and environment that you can actually investigate. This is some sort of holy pagan god place, which I just very definitely desecrated by killing their god. Or at least it was definitely a place of worship. And in this derelict building most likely lived some sort of important priests or members of clergy. Hard to say. And seeing the level of Boletaria is at this moment, there's nobody to answer. And even if they were, it would be impossible to say would they answer. Well, it takes about 10 minutes of gassing. But then he's susceptible to be shot to back. Yep. Basically the most meanest boss of the game can be completely cheesed to death using Thieves' Ring and Poison Cloud. And there was his throne. Actually, it looks quite bad shape. But then again, he was sitting over there in a cutscene, not particularly seen. And with this, there's his archstone. I will take it.
How did you defeat my demonic reflection? How many souls might you have devoured, I wonder? The rest is up to the Old One. If it is to be, then you shall be beckoned.
Oh yeah. Which means that there was no real King Allant here. It was all a doppelganger. So, but let's just swing to Nexus and see what's going on in here. path beneath the Nexus is now open. And Maiden in Black is over there, ready to say hello to me. But before that happens, and I'm going to face the final boss, there's some little thing I should be doing. Let's see. Oh, actually, did I forget to pick it up? Let's go check it back.